She's been going back and forth with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin basically all day long. As we heard from President Trump this morning, he said he didn't like Democrats' bill, calling it full of goodies. That bill, of course, aimed to help workers affected by the coronavirus with provisions like emergency paid leave, as well as free coronavirus testing and enhanced unemployment insurance. Democrats are still actually holding out hope for a vote tonight, but it's unclear at this point if it could happen. The Senate, of course, won't act on it this week, but they did announce today that they would be canceling a recess and being in session next week to work on the bill. President Trump, for his part, has pushed for a payroll tax holiday, but lawmakers in both parties have really been cool to that idea.
In the meantime, President Trump's address was not at all well received, least of all on Wall Street. What came out of the White House today to try and mitigate that? It was pretty crazy that he said a number of things in the speech that the White House then had to issue corrections for.
Yeah, it's been quite a day for the White House. Not only did they have to correct certain assertions in President Trump's speech, and not only did it not seem to quell markets at all, the White House has really had to push back on a couple of things. We saw the White House today saying that President Trump, despite being at an event with someone at Mar-a-Lago from a Brazilian delegation who later tested positive for the virus, that President Trump didn't need to be tested. There's a photograph of him standing next to that person, but they still are not planning to test him, saying that patients that aren't showing symptoms don't need to, and that he and the vice president had limited interactions. We also heard that Trump is continuing to double down, saying that the plunge in oil prices could actually be good for the consumer, somewhat like a tax cut, and could actually help the consumer. So kind of a wild day out of the White House on those fronts.